All right, I'm gonna just give you a really short tutorial. I'm gonna try to keep this under 10 minutes if I can. Um, a little bit about online instruction with the Wacom tablet and the Snowball microphone. I'll give you an example of what I've been doing for about the past 10 years. If you go to youtube.com / Dunwoody Robotics, let's see if I can get that in here, Dunwoody Robotics. When you get to that channel, what you're going to see is you're going to see a whole bunch of videos, some robotics videos, a whole bunch of PLC videos that are essentially slides annotated with the Wacom tablet and screen capture software such as Canvas Studio. My calculus sequence that's on here, my PLC sequence, machine vision sequence. There's some electronic stuff on here, but it's kind of all over the map. Some LabVIEW programming that tends to be more just screen capture. But there's a lot of curriculum in here as well, even some Rockwell Arena simulation stuff that I did for the industrial engineering program over the years. So as you look at these things, what makes this possible, first of all, what makes it valuable is the ability of a student to be off-site. So online instruction is huge. But even for face-to-face instruction, if a student misses a class or if a student is struggling with one topic, the ability to go home and maybe watch that and consume that video at a rate that makes sense. So if they watch a piece and they didn't quite understand it, they can rewind it and watch it again and see what happens. So anyways, that's the goal here is give some faculty some tools that might be able to help them out with making online instruction a little bit easier to work with. So the first thing is the blue microphone. This is the blue Snowball, and it's weird because it says blue, but mine is black like this is. The nice thing about this microphone, it's a USB microphone. I'm speaking on it right now. It's not directional. What that means is whether I'm talking to it from the side like I am now, or if I'm directly in front, or if I'm all the way on the other side or the back, it still sounds about the same. So it's a very high quality microphone, but look at the price. This thing is only $46.99 USB, and it's plug and play. So this thing is very, very, my only complaint is that it says blue and it winds up being a black microphone. I think there's a white one too. I've never seen a blue one, but I think that's just the marketing pitch that they're given for it. So that's a vital resource. You can use the microphone on your laptop and it works good. With the external microphone, it works really good. The next thing that I use, and this is the one that if I had to eliminate one, I would get rid of the microphone, but I would not get rid of my Wacom tablet. So this is the beauty. We're talking $55, and this is a 7.9 by 6.3 inch tablet. These are on Amazon, and I absolutely love this thing. If you're wondering what this is it's basically a pen, and this is what I'm writing with right now. So I'm in a screen capture software. I've got just kind of a silly PowerPoint slide up here with some stuff on it, and I'm writing on this surface down here. So I've got a writing area that kind of goes from here all the way down to here. And as I write, if I'm writing up in this corner, that's going to correspond up here. If I'm writing down in this corner, that's going to correspond down here. So I'm basically annotating a PowerPoint slide, and I can talk about this slide, all I want. Be careful, these little buttons, the reason why I just advanced the slide is I accidentally hit this button, which actually advances the slide too. So the nice thing about this thing is it also gives you a nice little tool that can advance your slides and do different things. And these, I don't generally use these buttons up at the top. Mine's a little bit older. But these buttons are programmable. So if you want to change pen colors or something like that, the way I change pen colors is I hold the pen down, I go to pointer options, ink color, and then I just go ahead and grab a different color, and then I can color in that color. And oh, by the way, if you want to erase something, you can go in there and go to pointer options and go to your eraser, and you can erase whatever it is you want to get rid of as well, right? So you can erase all this stuff as well. Kind of turns your laptop computer into almost a smart board for that matter. So I'm going to go back to my normal pen, and I'm going to go back to my normal color, which I, for some reason, really like the red color. So I'll go back to my kind of Dunwoody red, and I'll go on to the next slide. This is the value of this, though. So now whether you have a slide up here with a print with tolerances and dimensions on it, and you want to call attention to those tolerances and dimensions, or if you have a circuit up there like I do right now where I want to talk about, let's say, Ohm's Law. It's the most simple Ohm's Law calculation in the world, right? But I could say, and as I'm writing on here, I could say that V equals I times R, which is to say that the voltage, volts, is equal to the current, which is amps, multiplied by the resistance, which is ohms. So I can write that out. I will tell you that the first time you go to use this thing, you'll write like a kindergartner. The reason why is I'm writing down on the surface, but I'm looking at my screen. So it is a little bit strange, but as long as you're keeping your hand down here, you can kind of see where that dot is, or every once in a while I'll just kind of touch so I know where I'm at. And so let's say I want to do a calculation on this. Let's say I wanted to calculate the total resistance. Well, I know the total resistance, RT, in a circuit. In a simple series circuit, I only have two resistors. It's going to be equal to R1 plus R2. So therefore, RT is equal to 1,000 ohms, which is the resistance of R1. It's 1,000 ohms plus 470 ohms. And just like that, I did a simple calculation, and I can do this for my students and basically show them, annotate the slide as I'm working through it, and they can follow along at home, watch this as many times as they want. So let's say I want to know total current. So IT, well, I go back to this formula of Ohm's law. I know that I, then if I manipulate this formula, divide each side by R, I equals V over R. So IT equals V of T over R of T. Now you can kind of see my messy handwriting come to light. The total voltage then is 12 volts divided by the total resistance, which is 1,470 ohms. And what's neat is if I want to dip out of this for a second and hit escape and keep my ink annotations and maybe go into the calculator and say, 12 divided by 470. Oop, kind of bounced around there for a second. Sorry about that. 12 divided by 470, or excuse me, 1470. Sorry about that. I get 8.16 milliamps. I can go drill right back into this PowerPoint presentation, and I can type that in here, and I can say, so the value is equal to 8.16 milliamps. So now I know the total, the total resistance. I know the total current, and I already know the total voltage is equal to 12 volts. So I know all of those totals. And again, if you want to change a color, like if you want to say, well, what is current in here? I might grab a different pointer option for color. And I might say, you know what, I really want to use, for ink color, I want to use this green. And I want to show where the total current is. It's going to flow through R2 and R1. And if I'm talking to the engineering students, they're going to say, well, it's positive and negative. And if I'm talking to the technicians, it's going to say negative, positive. And I'm going to tell them both it doesn't matter. Because I just need to know how many amps, which is how many electrons are flowing, and then I'm off and running. So I hope that gives you a nice little tutorial as to, and I'll discard the ink annotations there. You can actually click on them and get rid of them. Hope that gives you a nice little tutorial in 8 minutes on how you might use some of these very simple tools to make your online lessons a little bit more robust, a little bit more easy for our students.